Welcome back, dancers. Thanks for joining us today. Before we begin, I just have to say a super big thank you to my family who helped me get this room ready for you guys. We've been working hard this weekend. Miss Holly and I want to be able to get as many videos out to you as possible so we can stay connected to all our dancers. We miss you so much. So thank you to them for helping us with that. And today we're going to do a little bit of cardio, nothing too intense. We've got a little CrossFit circuit for you. And then Miss Sophie has requested that we work our split series, so we're also going to do split series today. Okay, so if you have a yoga mat, you might want to pull that out, and if you remember from the last video, if you don't have a mat, you can use any soft surface, even like a nice thick towel or your carpet. Make sure you have your water with you. If you have weights at home, you can have weights nearby. All the exercises can be done without the weights, so you don't need them, but if you want to challenge yourself, bring your weights with you, or even a can of soup if you don't have your weights with you at this time. All right, so we are going to begin here with some jump lunges. So we have 10 of them. So Miss Lydia's gonna walk forward. She's gonna grab her weights. When we do lunges, we need to make sure our knee is right over top of our heel, not forward over our toes. Yes, so there's 1, and switch. 2, and switch. 3, keep that back knee in a little closer as well. And 4, switch. 5, switch. 6, switch. 7, switch. 8, that's it. Keep reaching those elbows nice and straight. And one more set. 10, and switch. Excellent job. Okay, so weights down, and we're gonna go into burpees next. So I always like to start my burpees down. So she's going to go into a squat, out to plank, and in, jump. There's 1, down, out, in, there's 2, down, out, in, 3, down, out, in, 4, down. Try to lift those arms straight up. There you go. Out, in, there's 5, down, out, in, there's 6. Get all the way back in that plank. 7 with your seat down, back, in, good. 2 more, out, in, up, 10, out, in, up. Good work. So we did our 10 burpees. Now we're moving to jump squats. So when we do our jump squats, I'm not sure if you can see my back. I'm not sure which angle is best for that. But we want the back nice and flat here. So we don't want to be arching and sticking our seat out like that. Keep it flat. Remember, knees over the heels, hands down. So we don't want to sit in this position, okay? That's going to give us a break in our quadriceps. That's not what we want. We want to work those quadriceps. Hands are down. When you jump, make sure your arms are perfectly straight. So we don't want to bend them in and then jump up. We want to pull them straight up. All right. 10 of them, please. Lydia goes. 1, and down. Good with those arms. And down. 3, sit back in that chair. 4, and down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent work. Now we're going to move on to our 20 repetitions. And the first exercise is a sit-up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 sit-ups with the hands behind the head and elbows out. And then we're going to switch the hands and do the second set of 10 with the hands behind the legs, okay? That's just going to, that one's just a variation, so you can work whatever you want. If you feel like you can keep your hands back for all 20 of them, go for it. But we're gonna give you a little variation on both, okay? A little more challenging with those elbows out. Make sure they stay out and you're not pulling on your neck like that, okay? So no pulling, keep them out, chest forward. Inhale here, exhale, sit up and back. Good, again. 2, there you go, and back. So we want those knees to the ceiling. 3, and back. Don't let them come in like this, but keep them out, and back. 5, good work, and chest forward at the top. 6, that's it. 7, good, you keep track of your knees. 8, good, just 2 more. 9, and 10, good work. And she's gonna lay back, and now she's gonna switch her hand position. So she's grabbing her hamstrings, and inhale here, exhale, sit up, chest forward, good, and back. 2, and back. Relax those shoulders when you get up to the top. 3, that's better, and back. 4, keep track of those knees, that's the hard part. They wanna come in. 5, we're gonna keep them right out. And 6, and back. 7, and back, keep going. 8, good, just 2 more. 9, and back. One more time. 10, and roll all the way back. Good work. So we're going to move on to our mountain climbers. So when we do mountain climbers, it's not like a hill climber where I'm going to keep my foot flat. With this mountain climber, you're going to pull the knee right into your chest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep going. 1, good. 2, engage those abs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good work. You can pull back to a child's pose just for a second because I just want to talk about her arm position. So I don't know if you can tell from the video, but she had her shoulders right over top of her wrists in her plank. That is super important. We never want to be hanging back in our plank. We want those wrists in line with those shoulders. So good work on that one. Now we're going to do our calf raises. You'll notice Lydia's taking a sip of water, so please feel free to do that. It's super important to stay hydrated. With these calf raises, we're gonna do a press up as well with our weights. You can do this in a second position. Can you show us second position, please, Lydia? Good. So you can keep she's got her tailbone lengthening downward, and she's floating those knees back over the center of her foot. Okay, so you can do it in this position like Miss Lydia, or you can do it with straight legs. And we're gonna lift our heels up and press up and down. 2, so you pick whichever one works best for you. 3, and down. Good. Keep those rib cage closed. Goes 5, and down. 6, and down. 7, and down. 8, and down. 9, and down. 10. We have 10 more times. Go. 1, and down. 2, and down. 3, and down. 4, and down. 5, and down. 6, and release. 7, and down. 8, and down. Good, just 2 more. 9, that's it, good work. I see those legs working. 10, and relax it down. Really good job. You can put those weights down. So that was our last repetition in the 20s. So now we're moving on to 30 reps, and we're gonna go with the Russian twist, Lydia. So I'm gonna sit down for this one too, just to show you the if you can move forward, Miss Lydia. I'm going to be a little bit back. Perfect. This is the modification, so you can do it holding your weight here. You can hold both weights. You could do no weights, or you could do one weight. It's up to you. Okay, so the chest has to be forward in this exercise, whether your feet are down or in boat posture. And we're going to twist. Lower the weights down without touching the floor, but they're going close. So we're working our side abdominals, our obliques. 3, and switch. Keep going. 4, and switch. 5, switch. 6, switch. 7, switch. 8, switch. 9, switch. 10, remember we're going all the way to 30. 1, good, keep lifting those heels, it's tricky. 2, and if at any time you start to get tired, you can put your feet back down on the floor as well. 5, and switch. 6, switch. 7, switch. 8, switch. Good, I like that you're keeping that back nice and flat. 9, and switch. We only have 10 more times. Go. 1, over. You're doing great. 2, and over. 3, I hope you're feeling this at home too. 4, and over. 5, over. 6, and over. 7, over. 8, over. 9, over. One more time. 10, and over, and relax it down. Good work, good work. All right, so now we're moving into 30 jumping jacks. When we do our jacks today, we're gonna clap up over our head, and then we're gonna clap behind as well. Okay, and making sure we're going out equally on both feet when we do them. Okay, out equally, not one side and then the other. Okay, so 5, 6, 7 goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, clapping back. Good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep it going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent, and relax it down. So now we're gonna go to high knees before we do our plank. So with high knees, you can grab 1 weight, 2 weights, or no weights. You can jog with your arms. What's Lydia gonna choose? She's going for both weights. Okay, so she's gonna hold those weights in. You can stay forward, yeah? All right, so keeping your core engaged, belly button to spine, lifting those knees. 5, 6, 7, goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we can point our toes. 7, 8, good. 9, keep those shoulders over hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. More goes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it down. Excellent. You can take a sip of water while I talk about the plank. So now we're going to hold a 1-minute plank. We're about to do split series, as I mentioned earlier, and I have right now 30 seconds set on my timer. So when you hear the 30-second bell, you know you have another 30 seconds to complete our minute. I'm going to give you the option of being in a forearm plank or in a plank up on your hands. So if you're up on your hands, make sure those shoulders are over your wrists. So without locking your elbows. So relax your elbows a little bit so that we're not hyperextending them. Good. Or you can go down on your forearms as well. So going down on your forearms. Good. And again, weight forward so that your shoulders are over top of your elbows. Okay. And we're going to hold here. So when we're doing this, we want to engage our quadriceps as well. Okay. And push those, yes, feet nice and centered. So engaging those abs, and we don't want to drop our head either because the head, weighs a lot. So when we bring that head down, we're actually making it even harder on ourselves. So you're going to keep your eye line kind of up near your baseboard. So we don't want that chin to the chest. When you hear the bell, that's just your 30-second warning. So keep holding. If you want to at this point move to your high plank, you may, or you can hang out in your low plank. I will give you the option today, being nice. And we're only doing this circuit once. So if you're used to conditioning with me, we do it at least 2 times, sometimes 3 times. So if you want to challenge yourself and do more repetitions, feel free to do so. Good, you're almost there, Lydia. Just a couple more seconds. You're doing great. And you did it. Excellent. Yeah, hold that child's pose for a second, stretching out your shoulders. All right, we're gonna move into split series. And again, I mentioned earlier, we're only holding it for 30 seconds. So I usually like to hold them for at least a minute. So feel free to hold them longer or repeat the series after the video. But just for the video's sake, we're doing just 30 seconds here to get through it. So let's use our time the best we can, really get deep into those stretches. All right, so you don't have to be able to do the splits in order to do the split series. That's the beautiful thing about it. The more you do it, the more those muscles will loosen up for you. Be patient with yourself, and we'll do it together, and every day we'll get a little bit better. Okay, so let us start with a forward fold. So your hands are down, and if you can't quite touch the floor without bending your knees, you can grab your elbows. The weight of your body will help get you a little deeper into the stretch. And you'll notice here that Lydia's hips are right over her heels, which is exactly what we want, because what we want to avoid is having the hips back like this. We don't want to sink back, we want to be right up over top of those hips, okay? Now we're going to do a seated forward fold. So take those legs forward, hinging forward from the hips, and then release the head. Bring the legs down. Now if you want an added challenge, you can put your feet against the wall and your hands against the wall, and that just gives you a bit of a deeper stretch. Excellent. This stretch is wonderful because it stretches the whole back side of your body from your heels up to the top of your spine. So it's a really, really great stretch. Okay, so now we're gonna bend our left leg in and grab around our right heel. Make sure that your left foot is resting flat against the inside of your right thigh. And we flex our foot in this position to give our calf muscle a little extra stretch. Hold it there, and then we want to think of our left shoulder coming down. Sometimes we open up, show them what it would look like, open up a little bit. We don't want to do that. We want to square and hinge forward from those hips. flex, super flex that foot. Now we're gonna do the one leg up stretch. I'll move slightly forward so get both views here. Okay, so modification. I'm gonna hold the outside of my foot and grab with my left hand at the ankle. I also like to sometimes push just above my knee to help keep it straight. You can also grab under your calf muscle and hold there as well. Okay, but the main thing we want here is that super tall back and chest forward. Also, don't lift your hip up like that. Make sure that bum is down. So now we're gonna extend that leg and we're gonna do a supine stretch, which is just a fancy way of saying we're gonna lay on our back and pull that leg in. Okay, so again, if I lift my hip, oh, I can get my legs so much higher, but that's not what I want. I want to keep the back of my right hip on the ground and pulling with my opposite hand. You can also grab your calf muscle. Do what is comfortable for you, but keep trying to work that leg straight, even if it means it's not coming as close to your body. Okay, so coming up, I'm gonna come back to my mat. We're gonna do a runner's lunge. Come down into your lunge. We're gonna go down on our elbows. If that's too much of a stretch for you, you can stay on your hands, okay? I like to sometimes take my right arm around. And a big part of preparing for your splits is opening up your hip flexor on the front of your hip. So I like to roll in a little bit to my left hip flexor. So I'm getting my stretch in my hamstring, but also the front of my hip. So now we're coming up for pigeon pose, one of my favorites, and one of Lydia's favorites, I know that for a fact. All right, keep that back tall first, and bring your weight forward. So you want to turn out this right leg as much as you can, okay? But if you have tight hips, like me, I have pretty tight hips, your leg might be a little closer to your body, and that's okay. You can also stack your fists if you don't want to go all the way down to the floor, and just relax the muscles around your hip here. Good, and come up. The 30 seconds feels so much shorter than we're used to doing. Now, we're going to go into half of a split. So you're going to pull that body down. Again, you can hinge forward from the hips. Feel the chest on the legs, chin, and hold it there. Flex that foot so you're getting that extra stretch in the calf muscle. Okay, just a few more seconds. And we want to make sure our hips are nice and square. There. And now we're going to slide into our right split. Wherever it is today is perfectly okay. Especially if you haven't been stretching for a while. Your muscles might feel a little bit tight. Make sure your front knee is right to the ceiling, because when that knee rolls forward, we risk damaging the knee on the inside there. So just work it best you can. Gently come out of that. I'm going to pause my timer while I get my oversplit mat ready. Do you want to take your shoes off for this one? Yeah. All right, you can do that. Yes. And just put them over to the side. Okay, so we have this little stack of mats here. If you don't have anything like this at home, that's okay. You can stack some books, anything you think might work. And how about this, Lydia? You put your foot on this side. I'm going to put mine on this side. Yeah, I'm going to flip my mat around too. That's a good idea. I always like to have my mat here for my oversplit. This is going to protect my knee that's on the floor. You don't have to be able to do the splits in order to do an oversplit. What we do want to try to do is keep the back super tall, because gravity's working to push you down into your split a little bit more. My shoulders are over my hips, and I'm working to square them as much as I can. So I want to get my left shoulder over top of my left hip. Good work. We have just a few more seconds, and then we're going to go back into our split on the floor, just right where we are. Right where we are. So now this should feel a little easier than it did the first time. Good work. Miss Lydia's splits are getting so much better. She's been working very hard on them. Lift those arms up. Maybe you can lift one arm, or maybe you can lift both. Maybe out to the side is more comfortable, or maybe you keep your hands behind your head, or just on the floor. Be patient with yourself and work where you're comfortable working. I can feel my legs shaking already. And relax, sit down. Good work. All right, I'm gonna grab myself a drink here, and then we're gonna do that all on the left side. Slide our stack back. All right, let's go into, oh yeah, let's angle our mat so our friends at home can see us better. Let's go back into our forward fold. So even this should feel a little easier than it did the first time. And work that back flat, push that low back flat. Sometimes I like to lift my chin, push the chest down towards the floor. You can also try to fold that head right in. You can take those hands back. So many different variations to get yourself your best possible stretch. Let's repeat that sitting. I'm going to use the wall this time. You pull yourself down. Just intensifies the stretch. Even through the calf muscles, I can feel it a little bit more here. Just hang that head down. You don't have to, just hang it where it lies. You don't have to kind of push it further if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable. Let's come back with one leg in. Flex your foot. Working those hips as square as you can. If you can already get your nose down, that's easy. Lift your chin up and push your chest flat. So normally what I like to say is work your best side your weaker side longer than you would hold your best side, even just by 5 or 10 seconds until you can get it matching your good side. Good, with that leg up. So bend that right leg in for you, Miss Lydia. Bend the right leg in. Good, and so you can grab your calf muscle. Now relax your shoulders down. There we go, that's a better stretch. So for this, it's not about getting your foot closer to your face. With time, that will come. With time and practice, the leg will get closer. What's more important is your position, okay? So you want that posture, tall back, chest forward, and without letting that bum come off the floor. All right, now we're gonna go back for our supine stretch. And you can grab wherever is comfortable for you. You can even grab your hamstring, calf, ankle. I'm definitely more of a calf grabber on my left side at this point, but I'm gonna keep working it so that maybe I can get as flexible on my right side. It takes practice and patience, but we can do it. All right, let's go into our runner's lunge. So make sure your knee is over top of your heel in this position. Sink that right hip flexor forward and bring those arms around. So when we're working our splits and we're preparing up to them, it's also really important to stretch that hip flexor. That hip flexor needs to be nice and loose for us when we're pulling that split there. Okay, so we're gonna walk my left foot over to the right, and then keep your back tall. Keep pushing that right hip forward, and come down wherever you're comfortable. You can reach your arms forward. You can stack your fists on your hips. The key here is to relax the muscles in your glutes, which is your seat. The tendency is to grip the muscles because it can be a bit intense, but you want the opposite of that. Let them relax. Good, coming up for half of the split. Flex your foot. Try to get those hips nice and square. Bring your body down. I'm gonna check those hips for you. Good, so it's kind of a funny feeling, and it's hard to tell sometimes if you're square or not. Now we're nice and square. That right hip goes forward as the left goes back. Good. And want to hinge forward from the hips, remember? And that's where we lead from. All right, let's go into this left side. It's very tight for me. But trying to get a little further than I did last time. Keep that right hip forward. For me, that's where the challenge lies most on my left side, is getting that right hip forward. It's a little bit tighter at the front of my right hip. Keep that left knee right to the ceiling. Good, that's better with the knee to the ceiling, Lydia. And relax it down. So we're gonna get our over split mats ready. Flip these vertical. Excellent. Left leg is up, but I'll take this side this time. You take this side. down we go. Gonna back up a little bit. All right, so just take it where you're comfortable. Well, let's be real, it's not comfortable at all. But today we're being comfortable with being uncomfortable, right, Lydia? Right? And sit nice and tall. Good, I know, feel the shake. Mine's shaking too. It's okay, that's good, that means it's working. All right, back you go. And hold, so you can take one arm up, both arms up. Keep working your hips square as you can, shoulders as square as you can. Just a few more seconds. So we're gonna really try to dig deep, push further, further, further for our last couple seconds. Whew. We did it. You made it. Give me a high five. We did it. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. That was super fun. It definitely feels great to get moving, and we're so happy to be able to do this for you from home, in our home, all for you guys. So enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Give them a wave.